What does it take for a woman to work with confidence in leadership? Welcome to another episode of the Speak With Her podcast. My name is Oluwagbemiro. You can call me Miro the Talker, and I am excited to be the host on today's episode titled Empowered to Lead. Is this your first time tuning in? This is a space where we invite women from diverse fields and professions to inspire, educate, and empower the next generation, especially young girls who aspire to make a difference in the world. Joining me as always is my amazing co-host.
My name is Magnifica. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us. And today we have an exceptional guest speaker, a woman of excellence and impact. She is the founder of Magnifica Crafts and serving as the director of entrepreneurship and skills training. She's a respected advocate for women empowerment with over 25 years of experience. She's here to share her remarkable journey and valuable insights on how to be empowered to lead. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Dr. Oluwagbemiro Favour. So thank you for joining us, Ma.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
And we are excited to have you amidst us. And we are looking forward as well to learn from you. So permit me to ask you some few questions. Although I've already done a little bit intro about you, but I would like you to have just tell us a brief introduction of yourself due to the curiosity of the audience that are seeing you for the first time, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so very much, ma'am. I am Oluwagbemiro Favour, and for 25 years, one thing has been my mission, and that is to prove that when we educate a girl, we are not only helping her, to develop her life, we are actually developing a whole nation. My journey as an educator has taken me from classrooms to boardrooms, from local communities to global platforms. And they refer to me as ambassador, as an advocate, as a leader, as a voice. But at my core, I'm simply a woman who believes that every girl deserves the right to dream and the tools to build. And today I am not here just to share my story, but to contribute and to let us know that impact, it's a lot. And transformation comes when impact, is rightly drive. So I believe we are going to have a wonderful time. I am an educator, gender and youth advocate, director of entrepreneurship and skill training, 3 times LinkedIn top voice, 4 times ambassador, and many more. Thanks so very much.
Thank you so very much, Ma. Thank you so. I love the highlight of your journey. Thank you so very much, Ma. 3 times LinkedIn top voice. We are still going there, and 4 times ambassador. Well done, Ma. Well done, Ma. Keep doing the good work, Ma. And thank you for believing in girls and women advocacy and for promoting us. Thank you so very much, Ma. So I believe in the field, in the system. I want to take you to some vulnerable moments whereby you have something that is not working. And this brings this question. What is the one gap in the system that still keeps you up at night, ma?
Okay. For 25 years in the journey, one thing that still keeps me, awake in the night is mindset of our girls. We talk of education, leadership, and everything. We have opened doors for education, entrepreneurship, skill training. But the thing is, our girls, our women, do they believe they have what it takes to walk into those doors? to walk through those doors? Do they believe they have what it takes? Because of so many things, culture, society, the family, media, just name it. It has a kind of culturally conditioned our girls that so many of them, they don't even know the power at their disposal. You know, some time ago, a few years back, I had an encounter with this young lady. She was given admission scholarship to study engineering. And guess what? She said she can't do it. This is a very smart young girl. Why? She said engineering is for boys. Where did she get that? It is what probably the society, the family. What do we do in the family? We believe the boys, they have the wings to fly. But for the girls, we limit them. As a girl, go into teaching, go into nursing, go into catering school. It will give you time to take care of the family. And that's how we condition and limit these children. So one thing has been a change in the mindset, because look at that girl. She has all it takes to go out and fulfill her dream. But she said engineering is for boys. But I'm telling you that this same girl today, she's helping her community in designing solar panel. Because eventually, after much, counseling and everything, we were able to change the mindset that you can be anything that you want to be. So the society is not helping. And that is one thing we have to work on. Education is there. Skill development is there. We are doing everything in advocacy to enlighten our girls. But the mindset for them to believe they have what it takes to walk into those rooms, those are the things we still have to work on. Because I deal with women, girls on a daily basis, and I see this limiting belief, this self-doubt, I can't do it. Even when it comes to jobs, men are always ready. Even when they are less qualified, they go for it. A woman will be overqualified. She will still be doubting herself whether she can do it. So we need to work on our limiting self-belief. We should believe. And for our girls, it's a lot, because the school, most times, is not helping. They want to do something that has to do with STEM. What do they do, STEM? They will call the boys. You will, the girls, leave them. Let them go to home economics. Let them go and do tie and dye. Good. They are all skills. But for those of them that have the capacity, let's stop limiting them. So one thing that has been keeping me awake is that we have a lot to do on our girls. Let's change the mindset. The access is there. Education is there. Entrepreneurship, skill development is there. But the mindset of I can do it, I have what it takes. I am not limited by my gender. We have to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Ma, for that response. I really appreciate the fact that the first thing you said was the mindset. Because if you want to help somebody, it will actually comes from the person's mind. Because whatever you want to do, we call from what's the effort that you want to put into it. And this is actually the you in you. If you're not doing anything, if you are limiting yourself, if you are telling yourself you cannot do, definitely you won't be able to do it. So thank you for keeping up the good work, Ma. So moving forward, the way you've said earlier, being 3 times LinkedIn top voice and 4 times ambassador, I believe you have this influence across different platforms. And we know that influence without impact is merely noise. So I'd like to ask this question. How did you ensure that every room you enter drives meaningful progress for women and girls?
Okay. Thank you once again for the question. Like you've rightly said, influence without impact is noise. And for me, I refuse to be noisy. I don't want to be noisy. One thing about me is every room I enter is a negotiation. What is there in that room for women? If there is nothing for women and girls, count me out. By the grace of God, I belong to so many organizations like WIMBIS, Women and AI, Women and Climate, Women Ascension, Forum for African Women Educationalists, Women in Technology, and so many others. And one thing at the back of my mind is, how do we help women? How do we, help to bring the women to the fore. You know, last week I joined the AMAC in FCT. We visited 6 schools over 2 days, and we met these young girls. You know, we sensitized them. We gave out pamphlets. We gave them pads. We spoke to them. And for many of them, so many things they were exposed to was a kind of eye-opener. They were really happy that they were, you know, educated on those things. And like early this year, I followed Farewell. We went to a community in Gwagwalada. When we got there, we saw these women, young women, some of them with 2, 3 kids. But many of them have nothing doing. I volunteered on my part as a skill acquisition trainer that will go back there and train these women. But because of the, you know, cultural conditioning, these women, they don't even know who they are. Because when our lead asks, who are you as a woman? Just introduce yourself. Not a single one of them said, my name is also person, this is what I do. They told us, I am a wife, I am a mother, I am a daughter, and all those. So they don't even know who they are as a person. So any opportunity I have, I want to sensitize women, let them know the power that they carry, what they can do. Because when the first thing is to believe in yourself. So any room I enter, I want to know what is in this room for women. How is it going to better the lot of the women? You understand? How will they be empowered? How will they be exposed? How will they have what it takes? Because when they have a voice, when they have a means of their own, it changed the game. So any opportunity I have, I want to better the women. I want to do something. And through my platform, I have helped a lot, both girls, women, and all that. I train people for free many a times. I try to help. Even on LinkedIn, people reach out, ask for help one way or the other. The little I'm able to do, I do that. I want to help. I want to impart. I'm a person of impact, and I want to impart as many as possible, because women, many are disadvantaged. Many have no voice. Many are suffering. So my own is I want to impart as many as possible. I want to help the women. They have what it takes, but many are limiting themselves. Many don't have the means. They don't have the means to do this. So that is my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma, for the impactful work that you've been doing. Actually, I saw the part a girl empowerment program that you did, whereby you visited a school and you shared parts to them. At least a girl that is actually limiting herself, maybe she did not even know what a pad is, because in this situation whereby culture defines some backgrounds, where they don't have the opportunity to buy a pad, to have a pad, you give them the opportunity, you give them the voice, you give them the confidence to be a girl. Thank you so very much, Ma. But before I give it to my other co-host to continue from here, I would like to ask another question, which is on Magnifica core crafts industry. Ma, what is the vision behind that industry?
The vision behind Magnifica Core Craft is actually to do something different, because when you see some of our products, they are unique. The uniqueness. Macrame is a traditional craft, you know, it's therapeutic, relaxing, it's something you enjoy doing. And just the joy of being able to do something with your hands is something. Like what I'm wearing, this bracelet, is what we do. So the uniqueness of our products, anywhere I've been to, the first thing I got asked is, do you train people? Yes, we train. And then when they look at this, you mean this is not machine, this is your hand? I will say yes. So the vision behind it is, this is not something that is entirely new, but the creativity that we introduce into it. Because I tell people, you can't walk into any store, even in Abuja here, and pick my products. It is customized. It is work of creativity, critical thinking, and innovation. I sit down, I planned my pattern. And most times when I'm working, I play with, colors and rope. If I've done a particular one this way, I can decide to just twist the rope and I have my pattern. So it's not something that you can copy. So the something there is, I want to create something that will be unique, something that will stand out, something that is not completely new, but innovative. And that has been, my product is unique. Whether it is our bracelets, whether it's our key holder, our bags, our plant hangers, they are very, very unique. People have bought my products. When you buy a product, you can't walk into any occasion and somebody will carry it with you. I say that with confidence, except it is made by us or somebody we train. So the something there is to empower women and girls, and at the same time to have a product that will stand out in the market. That uniqueness is the brain behind Magnifica Cockroach.
Thank you, for bringing uniqueness to creativity, because I believe that any woman that is on training in magnificent crafts industry should be able to create herself in whatever she's building, and that brings the uniqueness of her creativity coming to life. Thank you so very much, Ma. So Ms. Odayemi will continue from here.
You're
Good
welcome.
afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the
Good
privilege,
afternoon.
Ma. We are so privileged to have you on our podcast. Thank you for making out time despite your busy schedule to educate us. God bless you, Ma. Okay,
Thank
Ma. So I
you.
have just yes, Ma. So I have just few questions to ask. So the first one is that individuals and organizations, a lot of them have adopted different strategies to transform the future of our girl child, of the girl child. So a lot of them have engaged in strategies like gender advocacy, leadership development, or entrepreneurship. Because whenever we go on social media, a lot of them has maximized the use of social media. And I'm talking about the likes of TikTok to use their voice. Some decided to go through writing advocacy. They've written a lot of things. Platforms like Substack and the rest have been used to advocate for the rights of the girl child. While some have decided to train them to conduct leadership training. I've seen it on LinkedIn, and some have decided to go into entrepreneurship just to make our girls to sensitize the girl child to be able to for our future to be transformed. But Ma, you operate at the intersection of gender advocacy, leadership development, and entrepreneurship. So the question is, in Nigeria today, which of these three do you believe is the most urgent lever for transforming the future of the girl child? And why, Ma?
Thank you very much for that question. Um, Education is vital, leadership is critical, but entrepreneurship is survival. Why do I say that? When a girl can earn, then she has a voice, she can choose. When a girl can earn, do something for herself, make her own money, she can choose either to delay marriage, either to go to school, to lend her voice to the community. A girl will have the power to do that. And that is true entrepreneurship. It's not only about business, it's freedom. There was this girl back then in Lagos when things were still okay. There was no money to further education after secondary school. The parents cannot afford to, sponsor her. What did she do? With 5,000 naira, she started a small business. She was just selling this hairband and all that. And within a very short time, within months, she was able to sponsor herself and also help her siblings. That was the opportunity that the parents did not have. But because she has the entrepreneurial spirit, she wanted to do something. She could have been limited just at the secondary school level, but she was able to help herself, help her siblings. So I believe that the most critical at this time is entrepreneurship, because when people have the power, like I mentioned earlier, the women we met at the Gogalada outreach for the International Day, celebrating Women's Day, we saw them, they were doing nothing. I said it, some of them have 2, 3 children. They had nothing doing. They will be vulnerable. There was one of them with a child like maybe 4 or 3 years, a girl. I said, this child is crying now. You will just buy maybe 20 naira, 15 naira biscuits But if you are not empowered, it will be stop crying. When your daddy come, I will buy it. And that shouldn't be. Such a situation makes girls and women to be vulnerable. But no matter how small, if they have something to do, like the Magnifica cockroach we are talking about, there are little things you can do. Like this bracelets I'm wearing now, it depends on the color. The beads, we have various types of beads. So the color of the material, the beads determine the price. We have as low as 1,000, 1,215. And if somebody is able to do that, definitely will put food on the table. So it's not so much as they must have millions, but they should have something doing, because it will give them the voice, it will give them the power. So for me, it is entrepreneurship, because it will give the power to be able to, do something for themselves. And if you have power to do that, you'll be less vulnerable. You'll be able to take decisions. You have a voice of your own. You can live the life you want to live. But when somebody is incapacitated because there's no fund, the person have no means of livelihood, they are the mercy of others. So for me, it's entrepreneurship, because it will put food on their table. They will have a means of livelihood. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. So as she said entrepreneurship is the most important. I also believe that, because there are a lot of women that they're in a lot of ugly situations, not because they want to be in it, but because they are dependent on people for survival. A lot of them, they are even in abusive relationships. A lot of them has lost their lives because they are not employed. So there's entrepreneurship gives you a voice. It gives you a voice. It gives you an option to choose. So there is nothing like, oh, if you are employed, there are situations, if you are not comfortable with a particular situation, you can easily work out. But then once you are unemployed, there are a lot of situations, there are a lot of circumstances that you will consider before you walk away from that situation. So to that girl child listening, to that young lady listening to us, you have to have something doing. You have to have something doing. So thank you very much for that, Ma. So my next question is, being the first to do something as a woman comes with a lot of pressure, which can be overwhelming at times. Let's say, for instance, a woman that she's the first to hold a particular leadership position in her company, she'll be overwhelmed with a lot, and then there'll be a lot of expectations. She'll be very pressured. She'll be very pressured to the extent that she'll try to avoid mistakes, so that they will not attribute those mistakes to her gender. So they will not say things like, oh, she's a woman, what do you expect? Oh, a man will have done this job better. So she understands the situation of our society. So that is why the pressure is often too much for her. So, and that's the situation of many of our women in leadership. Many of them, they carry the weight of being the first or the only one in the room. Just like, okay, let's say that they're in a room with whereby it is male dominated, and then she's the only woman that is there. So there is this pressure of, what if I talk like this? What if I make a mistake? Won't they say, oh, it's because she's a lady? So how has that experience, the weight of being the first or the only one in the room, how has that experience, how has it shaped your leadership style? And what do you wish someone has told you before you reach that position?
Okay. Yes, we know that leadership is about creating space for others. Being the only one in the room, definitely we create loneliness. You are the only one and probably in the midst of men. And then the pressure will be there. Like you have said, you want to be perfect. You don't want to make mistake, so that they don't say, women, what do you expect? It's because of she's a woman and all that. But the thing is, as a leader, you must make space for others. You create room for others. You carry others along. What's the use of being the first in the room and the only one and the last? Somebody is the only one in the room. After leaving the room, no other person. No. Leadership is about creating space for others. What I wish I knew or I was told is that I don't have to carry the burden all alone. I don't have to feel that I must be perfect. It's persistence. Be persistent at what you do. Let people know you for something and be a true leader. Carry other people along, because somebody is not a true leader if there's nobody to succeed you. There must be somebody to take over at some point. So one thing that I know is that being the only one in the room, it takes a lot of resilience, takes a lot of hard work. It comes with loneliness. But as a leader, as much as possible, create space for others. And that is what I do. Any opportunity I have, I develop women, I develop girls. I have the opportunity to deal with, to relate with young ones. Just a few days, I was where I was making my hair. And this young girl, like 10 years or thereabout, very smart, was just running around. And the mother was calling her, I've been telling you when I'm making this hair, look at it, this and that. The girl saying, I was just going here and there. I called her. I said, your mommy is telling you the truth. Whenever she's making hair, be there. As she's doing this hair, very soon, you should be able to take it over. When she has done it halfway, you complete it. I cited example of people that are outside the country today. They are not looking for job because of little things they can do. I said I once had a family friend that left for the US. When he came back, you would think something happened to him. The hair was so bushy. Said it was too expensive to barb hair over there. How much do back then? Yes, back then, how much do we barb? With 100, 150, my son will go out and do very neat cut until when we started doing it at home with our own equipment. But this man traveled, came back. The hair was so bushy, he decided he would come and cut it in Nigeria. It was too expensive. If you know how to sew, you know how to cook, you can plait hair, it's a lot of money. So I spoke to that girl, and she's a very good girl because she just stayed there with her mother. She didn't run around again. So those are some of the things. At every opportunity, I encourage people, don't be idle. Even these GS3 children that are finishing school, I tell them, you have about 3 months before because when they finish, they do first term, second term, their third term, they finish exam, they are at home. About 3 months. Use it and learn something. Go and learn computer, coding, go and learn how to sew, how to bake, anything you are interested in. Because at the end of the day, it will matter. There are so many students in the university, they don't have a means, people to sponsor them. But because they can make hair, my daughter is in the university. Some of our friends are making hair and they are collecting as much as 5,000, 6,000, it depends. They create the time, they make hair for their friends. Some of them are very good in computer, they help people with CV and some other things. So learn something by all means. There are students in the university that sell bread to fellow students. Have you heard that before? They sell bread to their colleagues. Some when they come on holiday, they buy clothes, they buy shoe. They sell in the school there and they are able to help themselves. So these are some of the things that when I have opportunity, I drum it home. I tell people, do it. So with that, people will not be stranded, and as a leader, you will not be struggling, having to do it all alone. You'll be able to carry other people along. Thank you very much.
So that's our audience. So as our guest speaker said, true leadership, it comes with carrying people along. You will feel overwhelmed if you decide not to impact others. As there's this saying that says that success also involves the number of lives you've impacted. Don't just stay with what you know and you intentionally decided not to give back to people. You have to give back to others also. If you know how to do anything, there is nothing bad in reaching out to that girl that is in your neighborhood that is just idle, that is doing nothing. There is nothing bad in reaching out to those people that you know that, oh, you can teach them one of these. Because looking at the situation of the country, the way the economy is difficult and everything, having something to do, being able to impact people, to teach them about, to be able to teach them about one or two that, we actually save a lot of lives. We actually save a lot of lives. Some people, the amount of just that little word you tell them, you will be surprised at the way it's going to change their lives around. So don't be, and also don't carry the pressure on your head. You can talk to people, talk to someone. Oh, let's say you're getting overwhelmed. Talk to someone. Oh, I'm going through this. How do I do this? Break it down with me. The division of labor, it is very, very important. So you being a leader, don't be too pressured. And as a woman, the fact that you are the first to do something or you are the only one in the room does not mean you are inferior. And that does not mean that you should overwhelm yourself with too much. So Thank you very much, Ma. And the next question is, Ma, you are building a legacy that spans education, youth development, and entrepreneurship. When the next generation of girls looks back on this era, what is the one change you would like them to say women like you made possible?
Oh, I love that question. Thank you so much. One thing I want every girl to remember, the next generation to remember, is that let them be able to say they made it possible. You know, turning, exception into expectations. What do I mean by that? I want them to be able to say, we're able to turn things around, that no woman, no girl have to be pleading to get some certain things done, but they should have be able to break barriers, break the ceilings, do the impossible, because we have it in us. I want them to be able to say, oh, education becomes a right, not, a privilege. Because in our society today, for most people, education is a kind of privilege, though we are trying everything to make sure it will go around. So I want them to be able to say that we have, we have made it normal for a girl to lead, for a girl to innovate, for a girl to create, for a girl to go to school, for a girl to own a business, a girl to be able to make money for us, for herself. I want them to be able to say we made it, a normal thing, because most of the things look abnormal. Many people are afraid if a woman is making it in business, a woman is making it in education, a woman is innovative. But I want it that the generation coming will be able to say we have made the exception to become an expectation. We have made it normal for young girls, for women to have their own business, to be able to innovate, to be able to dream, to be able to be whatever they can be. Because like I started with, a lot of, pressure from society, from our culture, from family is limiting so many people. If we can remember, many years ago in the last administration, we lost this young girl, Arotile, that was, a fighter jet pilot. We lost the girl. And it was so pathetic that when the nation was mourning that great loss, somebody went on the social media, a young guy, and he said, why would that not happen to her? She's supposed to be a wife, somebody's wife taking care of the family. She's dabbling into, profession that is for men. Who says that to be a pilot is something for men? So I want women to dream big, young girls to know that they can go anywhere. The sky is not their limit, it's just the starting point. They can innovate, they can create, they can own a business, they can make money of their own, they have a voice. They can delay marriage, they can decide to go into education, they can decide to contribute to their society. There is no limitation. They are not inferior to anybody. They have what it takes. It's just to have the right mindset. Believe you can, and everything is possible. So nobody should be limited. I am a girl. Like that student, for the scholarship to be awarded to her to go and read engineering, that means in our heck, in her jam, she cleared it. But she didn't believe she has what it takes. He said, engineering is for boys. So we want to change the mindset for our girls, that whatever a boy can do today, a girl can do it and do it better. So they should know that they have what it takes to break the ceilings and to achieve whatever is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. So to that young lady that is listening, that is watching us, your gender should not be a limitation. As our guest speaker has said, she is a woman and then she is breaking ground. So there is nothing bad, there is nothing wrong with you. As a lady, there is nothing you cannot do. Ma, and sadly, that gender limitation is becoming a norm in our society. Because I was scrolling through Facebook yesterday and then I was watching a full grown woman. She said, as a woman, as a lady, there is nothing you can do without a man in your life. And sadly, when she said that statement, I saw some comments I saw a lot of comments that were applauding her, that wow, that what she said, it makes sense and everything. But then I knew that there was something wrong with that statement. And there are a lot of people, and that statement, that kind of mentality, it has been passed down even to as low as for our young girls that are in primary school. A lot of them, they are being brought up in that society. Some of them, some of their community will say, oh, that's the culture. Because and these limitations, it have been disguised in so many forms. Some will say, oh, it's the culture. As a lady, you don't make a man feel inferior. There is limit. You have to be moderate with your success. You have to be moderate with your dreams. And a lot of them have lost their voice. So our parents, this also speaks to the parents. Our parents, the parents have a lot to do in the lives of our young girls. Never make them feel inferior. Never make them feel like, oh, I'm a girl, so there is limits. A lot of our girls today, they've lost their voices. A lot of them. So, and again, there's this general saying that when I was growing up in the community, I heard it, and even up to now, I still hear it. And people don't know that it is a subtle patriarchal saying. They say things like, oh, whenever you make mistake as a young girl, instead of them to say things like, oh, you will get better, the next thing they will say is this how you be behaving in your husband's house? You're already allowing the young girl, you're already shaping her mindset to believe that everything revolves around the man, as if her voice does not matter. So she begins to see herself as, oh, she has to modify her personality in the sense that, oh, that it has to be like a wife material, and not just, oh, what do I want myself? So this problem, it is a very big problem in our society, to the extent that a lot of people, whenever a girl is successful, the next thing they will say is, oh, she's into prostitution. But whenever a man is successful, they'll say, oh, that man is very hardworking. So to that young girl that is listening, you have younger ones. Even if you already have the mindset that there is nothing you cannot do as a girl, but then there is also that girl in your community. You have younger sisters that might still have that mindset. It is very important for you to start educating them. So thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma, for educating us again. In fact, it is a very, very big privilege to have someone like you on our podcast. Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Ma.
Thank you so very much for all that has been said from the guest speaker, ma'am, Dr. Mrs. Oluwagbemiro Favour. Thank you so much, ma, and thank you to my amazing co-host. All the responses has been interesting and meaningful, and I feel it is something a girl child is lacking, and will actually get experience, will actually learn from this. Because from the facts, from where you explain about youth advocacy and leadership, then entrepreneurship, I believe that everything we want to do, everything you want to do, for the ones that are listening, for the ones that are watching me right now, it comes from your mind. And that is what Dr. Oluwagbemiro just said about your mindset. Let's have a positive mindset about whatever you want to do. Because even if the culture tends to teach us that, okay, limit yourself to this particular thing because you are a girl, because you are a woman. And this affects a lot of young girls that are in marriage, that are in maybe like, let me just say, young couple. Problem is leadership. Whenever they see their women leading, they will be like, oh, she's a woman. Why will she be in that kind of position? And that is those things that are affecting our system till today. So I believe everything should not limit you. Your background, your culture shouldn't limit you. But your mindset should be the one that you should be focused on, because that is what is leading you. And entrepreneurship is a big thing, because I believe that one of the richest man in the world is an entrepreneur. So, and it is not about being the richest, it is about being creative. we all know that we have different young girls that are creative in whatever part they are doing, maybe writing storybooks, maybe writing novels, or drawing or sketch, anything that you want to do. You are creative in your own way, you are unique in your own way, you can do it in your own way. So don't stop. Whatever you want to do, that thing can fetch you money if you are persistent in it. That resilience, let it be in your mind. Don't stop. Don't stop, like what my guest speaker just said. You can actually learn from the highlight of her journey. She's a 4 times ambassador, 3 times LinkedIn top voice. It is not bread and money like what I said on on my post on LinkedIn. So it is not just a day. Those achievements, they didn't just happen overnight. It is due to night candles being born and sweat, then loneliness, because the journey wouldn't have been all about excitement and all of that. It has to be hard work, loneliness, and pushing through. Keep on doing whatever you want to do, because you know that that thing will actually gives you happiness. So love what you are doing and do what you love. So I believe that that is the core thing to be a woman in leadership and in whatever you want to achieve. So I want to draw the curtain to the end of to end this episode, but I would like to ask my guest speaker if she has anything to say to the girls, to the young girls that are listening. If you have anything to say to them, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Miriam. For to every girl, every woman listening to me, you are more than enough. You have what it takes to be anything. Have the right mindset. Don't allow society, don't allow cultural belief, don't allow self-doubt to limit you. You are more than enough. You can be anything, you can go anywhere, you can achieve anything. It is possible. So believe in yourself, give it all it takes, put in the work. Might not be really easy, like she has said. It's a lot of work. Many sleepless nights, waking up very early, sleeping late, spending money, time, everything. At times it is exhausting, but the reward, it's there. So I would just encourage every girl here. You are not inferior to anybody. Your gender is an advantage, it's not a disadvantage to you. And carry yourself. Be intentional about the way you carry yourself, the way you own your voice. Nobody's going to treat you better than the way you project yourself. Be intentional about the way you carry yourself, that nobody can rubbish you. Believe in yourself, carry yourself, and put your best in anything that you do. And it's a matter of time, you are going to have it. So I want to assure you, don't limit yourself. Jettison your doubt, self-doubt. You can do it. That young girl said, engineering is for men, it's for boys. She cannot go into engineering. But today, she's making it big in her locality. She's the one making solar panel. So don't limit yourself. You wouldn't know what you are capable of doing until you give yourself the wings to fly. So for every lady, every young girl listening to me today, I want you to believe in yourself. It's very, very crucial. Believe in yourself. If I can do it, you can. And we have so many women breaking ceiling and doing so much all over the world. I believe you can do it and you will do it better. So thank you very much. And for our host, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
So thank you so very much, Ma. We are really honored to have you here. I'm honored to have the Director of Entrepreneurship and Training Skills on my podcast, on our podcast, on the Speak With Her podcast. Thank you so very much, Ma. So, Ms. Odoyemi, do you have any addition?
Hey, what I want to say to that young girl is to be audacious. Yes, don't allow anybody to intimidate you, because me myself, I've been in situations whereby people have tried to look down on me by trying, because they feel like, oh, she's a lady, what does she want to do for me? I can do anyhow. But that does not, whenever you notice that kind of situation, that is not the time for you to get into your show. That's the time for you to be audacious. And concerning entrepreneurship, whatever you do, when if whatever you do, you're into business, you're into so many things, be audacious with it. How many people in your community, how many people knows that you do what you do? Okay, you're selling, let's say you, for instance, you're selling shoes. How many people know? Are you just keeping it to yourself? Reach out to people, be audacious about it, be bold with what you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Onoyemi. Thanks for the addition. And I believe that every girl child, every young woman, every woman that is listening to this will definitely know that you can do it. In whatever you want to do, you can be creative, you are unique, and you are beautiful, and you are bold enough to walk into confidence with that leadership skills. Just believe in yourself. So at this point, we'll be ending the episode of Empowered to Lead on the Speak With Our podcast. Thanks for listening.